What up? What up? What up? Today we're going to discuss Joe Biden and his new tax plan. I've had a lot of people comment, send me messages. Joe Biden's going to get you. Joe Biden's going to get you. I'm like, I'm not worried. I'm not worried. I'm going to give you some reasons why I'm not worried, and I'm going to give you some social reasons why it more than likely ain't going to happen. So let's go ahead and start off with the first thing. The Democrats did not get the Senate. Roadblock. That's going to be a major roadblock to any agenda that Joe Biden has, any agenda that the Democrats have. It's going to be a roadblock. But let's, for the sake of argument, say that the Democrats in this special election here in Georgia get the Senate. Let's say it happens, that the Democrats have the presidency, the Democrats have the Senate, and the Democrats have the House, and they can roll through and do whatever they want to do. Still not worried. See, this is one of the things you guys have got to understand about being a corporate citizen. The game is so deep. Let me tell you a story of a friend of mine who got sued. He was in an accident that resulted in someone having some serious serious injuries. And they sued him, and their attorney found out that he owned a corporation. So they went after him. They went after his corporation. He had a holding company. So they went after the holding company. And when he got sued, when he got noticed that he was being sued, he took action right then and there. What he did is he created another holding company and shifted those corporate assets over to the new holding company, and then just took all the money out the holding company accounts and moved to the new holding company. That's what he did. And they sued. They won. They were able to come after him for his personal assets. They came after him for his house. They came after him, and they got the house. They got the house. All he did was just buy another house and kept it going. They got the house. They got, I think, like $750,000. The judgment was for about $5 million, but they only got $750,000. And his life did not change one iota. He went on vacation. He kept living his life because, see, once you set up your corporate entities, once you start playing the corporate game, it's kind of hard for somebody to stick you for your paper if you know how to play the game. If you know how to play the game, it's kind of hard for someone to stick you for your paper. And this is one of the things you guys have got to understand. This is why you need a corporation. This is why you need a holding company, because it gives you options. It gives you major options. I mean, once again, like with the corporate toolbox, the holding company tax strategy that I teach you, they would have to change everything for them to be able to stick you for your paper. They would have to change everything. Like my situation. True wealth is in assets, pretty much. National health care make the rich pay for it? I don't think so. You're not doomed. Put your money in asset and skills. That's what you got to do. That's you make over 400K, you'll be taxed 62%. That's not true. Let's see. Let me go ahead and do something real quick. Hold on a second. Hold on a sec. Hold on a minute. Boom. Just go ahead and get rid of that. Trey Nino, I'm not talking to your silly ass. See, let's go ahead and put this out here. I got people who are sending me videos who want to have a discussion about a video, or like in Trey Nino's bitch ass who hit me up on Facebook, like we're going to sit down and have a conversation. Motherfucker, I'm busy. You ain't. That's why you're watching me and I'm not watching you. I don't have time to have these little petty, feminine, bitch ass arguments with your little bitch ass. I don't have time. I got shit to do. You should be having shit to do. You shouldn't have time to have these little conversations like, you need to talk to me like a man. Bitch, fuck you. Okay? Fuck you. Fuck your mama. Fuck all your people. I got things to do. I got businesses to build. I got dragons to kill. I don't have time to go with some petty little ass argument with some silly little bitch. Y'all killed me with this. It's like, yeah, we need to have a conversation. My time is $1,500 an hour. You want to book a consult? Oh, that's right. You don't have $1,500. You can't do it. This whole, we need to have a conversation. I am a free agent. I am a corporate citizen. I do what I want, and I don't want to talk to you. So it ain't gonna happen. Y'all kill me with that stuff. Rich ain't gonna pay taxes. The rich are not going to pay taxes, man. I'm here to tell you. I'm about to get into some of that game. I'm about to get in some of that game. I'm like, don't be coming on this channel acting up. You will get slapped down. I'm not talking to you. So going back to the regular programming, since we had that silly issue, essentially, using the law, okay? Using the law. Like last webinar we had, I had some really good questions about business loans and all this other stuff, and I had to go ahead and go into detail about the strategy because I'm here to tell you they're not going to be able to get these corporations. They're not going to be able to get me. Like, honestly, most of y'all have paid more taxes than I have. Because my income has dramatically grown up. This is why I got to play a new game. And this is why I'm exposing $360,000. You can see the receipts. I put my pay stub on the community page on Savage Finance. I'm going to put it here. There's some other receipts, some other tasty receipts. And I'm going to expose that $360,000 to taxation. They're going to take $120K from me. Okay? And then I may, because I put in my operating agreement, I'll take a dividend once a year. And my dividend will be taxed at 15% on the federal level and 15%, and I don't know what Georgia's going to hit me over the head with. Because Georgia will be taxing, because if you pay state tax, you're going to have to pay state tax on your dividends that you withdraw from your company. So the game is to keep the money in the company. I'm not going to pull too much money out the company because I'm going to keep the money in the company, and I'm going to see, essentially, what I'm getting ready to do is turn my holding company into a bank. The holding company will be the bank, and it will issue loans to the operating companies. Okay? That game I can play forever. I can play that game forever because right now I'm working on business credit. In 6 months to a year, my goal is to have $500,000 to $1 million in business credit. Now, what I'm going to do with that? I'm going to purchase real estate with it. See, I will be able to purchase real estate in my corporate names. I will not purchase any property in my name. And once I go ahead and get this business credit, I will be able to get mortgages in my business name. Why? Once again, good question. So I'm putting myself on salary of $360K. That's letting the government know we making money because that's going to be taxed. So I'm going to have personal tax forms, even though I don't really do anything with credit in terms of, I'll pay cash for cars. I don't finance cars. And more than likely, I'm going to pay cash for a crib. So my personal credit, I'm not really doing anything with my personal credit. The game is to pimp out, to juice my business credit. Steven, I know, because Steven, this is a good demonstration in power. I don't have to talk to him. He can't make me. He ain't my daddy. He ain't my mama. He can't. I'm like, we ain't gonna have no conversation. I got stuff to do. You can also do it on a smaller scale. Absolutely. This is all what I teach in the corporate toolbox, because one of the things that you guys have got to understand is 2021 is going to be another bad year unless you're a corporate citizen. Because see, when you're building businesses, whether the economy is good or bad, you will go forward unless you just don't really know how to run your business. Well, once again, now this is a write-off for the corporation. I get to write off my salary and my employee's salary because they're expenses. So I get to write that off to offset whatever income I'm going to bring into the corporation to reduce my corporate income and make my dividend payment to whatever the government smaller. So, I mean, let's just have this conversation. Unless you're going to do something illegal, you cannot 100% avoid taxes. You can dramatically reduce taxes. You can shelter money. You can move money around, but you cannot completely eliminate taxes. I just want to be 100% sure I am not going to give you guys any information that's going to have you going to jail. I'm not going to give you guys information that's going to get you in trouble. I'm not going to give you guys information that's going to harm you. I'm not doing that. Yeah, Martin Tutwiler, because essentially, like I said, my personal credit, I'm not even using my personal credit. Like essentially, I have moved all of my corporate spend to my corporate credit cards, and I moved my personal spend to my personal credit card. I got one credit card I get points on, and I'm using that for my DoorDash, all this other stuff. But essentially, in about 3 to 4 years, I want to have $5 to $10 million in business credit, which I will use to purchase real estate. That's the plan. That's where I'm heading. Because essentially, when you do that, it's a game changer. Hey, you're going to have to start a business player. You're going to have to start a player. Tyree Stewart, Joe Biden will wreck small businesses for those who don't have the right information. He ain't going to wreck my business. He ain't going to touch my money. I ain't worried about that. Julian rules, you can enroll in the corporate toolbox, and I go into great detail about that. And in the next webinar, I'm going to go about that. Because essentially, using the laws on the book, accounting, expense, income, revenue, profit, there's a corporate game that you can play that would dramatically reduce your taxes. Well, essentially, the way the game is played is my corporation is going to be forever in debt. Thank you, John Deere. All right, all right, all right. Get that multifamily. Tim talks, as a corporate citizen, if I wanted to have 10 holding companies, I could have 10 holding companies. There is no limit. One of the things I want you guys to understand is when you become a corporate citizen, you become the true architect of your destiny. And what do I mean when I say that? You can do whatever you want. Let me give you an example. I have a friend. He has a holding company. He has his wife, 3 kids as members of the holding company. He pays them salary, keeping it in the family, and he gets to reduce the money that he pays their salary to offset the holding company income. He got his wife on. She sit at home. She just his wife. She don't go to work. She getting a check. I mean, because essentially his taxes last year, because of the moves he made, he paid $3 million. I am not lying. I'm telling you the truth. Let me see. All right, let's go ahead and get rid of that. See, if you don't know some information, you are an ignorant person to say that I'm lying because you don't know. You just don't know. Just deal with it. I don't really have any favorite pimp channels. I just know that pimps have some really good game. Well, I'm not a fan of DBAs because you still have to go to the state. You still have to spend that bread. Just start a holding company structure with multiple operating companies. Yeah, you can have as many holding companies as you want. There ain't no limit. There's a guy, I can't think of his name, but he's a real estate guy, and he has like 10 companies. See, once you start playing the corporate game, let's just talk about what happened with me. Currently I have 2 holding companies, but one I'm going to shut down. And what did I do? I just moved corporate chess pieces over to the new holding company. Kind of like what my friend did. Like, essentially, if someone tried to sue me and they came after the holding company, I would just start another holding company and move all those operating companies over there. I would do that so quick. Because you can't, and I would take the money. I would take the money out the holding company and move it to the new holding company and let those companies fold. I don't know what's going on. But essentially, the corporate game, because like Joe Biden, he's going to have a lot of roadblocks. Okay? He's going to have a lot of roadblocks. And even if the Democrats get the Senate and the presidency and they're able to do whatever they want, they still can't get me. Because I'm playing 5th dimensional corporate chess. I put on there, I've had a lot of people chime in, and I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but $360,000 a year salary is more money than 99.9% of the people in America make. I'm not trying to be disrespectful. I am playing a different game. I am playing with more money, which necessitates me to play a different game. Probably not. That channel, that's going to be about personal finance. Thank you, Tracy. Appreciate that. because they scared. And Jim, see, here's one of the things, and this is rampant in the manosphere. I'm about to make some confessions here. When I had my girlfriend, she lost her job. Guess who was paying her bills? She was my girlfriend. If you're my girlfriend and we're in a relationship, and if you have issues or trouble, I'm going to help you out. I'm going to help you out. And that's one of the reasons she wants to come back, because she could go out and find another penis, but she cannot find another one of me. It's going to be hard. And she's gorgeous. See, the thing is, there's not that many of me. There are not that many of me. And this is one of the things that she has dawned upon her, that replacing me and trying to find another one of me was going to be a monumental task. All right, Tawana, congratulations to you for taking action with the free business course. Because see, let me go back to my original thought. And Tawana Martin is an exhibitor of, it's a free course that if you actually do the work, you will make money. It's a free course, but here's the thing. People don't want to do the work. People are looking for cheat codes. They're looking for hookups. They're looking for scams. They're looking for hacks. They don't want to do the work. And that's why so many people are not watching, you know. So once again, Tawana Martin, congratulations to you for taking action. Hanel Nasheed, if you're personally sued, okay, he got in the accident, people were messed up, so they went after him and his asset, and the company was his asset. So the corporate veil would not protect, like if you own a business, and if you went out and did something reckless and they sued you, they could sue you and go after your asset of your company. So it wasn't something that was done in the, if like one of did something crazy, right? Then the corporate veil would protect the holding company from the operating company. But if you are personally sued and they come after you, whatever is an asset of yours is on the table. But if you're a corporate citizen, jump over here. Move corporate chess people, they still can't get you. Because like, with you, like all you would have to do is just start another holding company and move your operating companies over there. Because essentially, when you're sued, it takes time. It takes a lot of time, and you could just keep delaying the lawsuit while you make these moves. You could delay a lawsuit for 2 years. And after the 2-year mark, they can't come after that money. James Anderson, what I did, I didn't fill out any paperwork. I just shut down the other operating companies, created new operating companies, and moved the assets into those companies. It was just that simple. There was no paperwork involved. It was except filing for new operating. Now I'm getting ready because I kind of love Mac Daddy Media, which is an operating company, and I'm going to sell that to Disruptive Asset Holding because I'm going to keep that. Petty Trump don't want to leave, man. Petty Trump don't want to leave. Yeah, like I said, I'm not worried because essentially, once you start playing the corporate game and you play it well and you use the law that's on the books. See, this is the thing. I am using the law that is currently on the books to work out this corporate plan. Rod for real estate, exactly. Hey, like him or not, Trump had over 600 companies. The game is deep. The game is deep. Hey, he ain't gonna shut it down. If you notice something, many people who go to Congress as senators or House of Representatives, they come out of Congress rich if they stay there 10 years. I wonder why. Thank you, Martin. All right, what's up? Tim talks, you can have as many holding companies. See, here's the thing. As a corporate citizen, I want you to free your minds because most of you have been institutionalized as employees. And, I was talking to this chick who couldn't have her phone on the floor. I was just like, oh man. Sure thing, Tawana. Congratulations to you for taking action. Steve Jameson can't have a 50-50 thing with a woman to get 100% submissions. Got to play like daddy to be daddy. Like, on that nail, like, I have no problem taking care of a woman if she is my girlfriend or wife. I have massive problems taking care of a woman that I barely know. But if she's my girlfriend, she's going to get the G benefit. She's going to get G'd up. I'm going to take care of her. And this is one of the problems in the manosphere because you got dudes who don't want to do that. They don't want to pony up. They don't want to, because here's the thing. Because, women were not designed to work like pack mules. They simply weren't. Pretty much. Charging order protection. There are some states that have charge order protection. But once again, if you go out and do something stupid, if you go out, if you get drunk and you run, pretty much city slickers, they come out rich. They go in poor, but they come out rich. So one of the things that you guys have got to understand that regardless of what Joe Biden do or does, if you're playing the corporate game, he's not going to be able to touch your money. Because like this year, like let me go ahead and give you an approximation of what's going to happen to me. Let's say in 2021, I make $5 million through my company. 360 of that is going to be taxed at the highest tax rate ever. Okay? And then I may pull out another 740 as dividends, and that will be taxed at 15%. The other 4 million will stay in the company. And if I choose to call it profit, because see, once again, how you get your money, the terminology, how you do your QuickBooks, is it profit or is it revenue? Is it profit or is it a loan repayment? Is it profit or is it income? These are very important. So how you do your books is very, very important. It's very important. I suggest everyone get themselves well-versed with QuickBooks, because if you stay on top of your accounting, you're going to be golden. You're going to be golden. Pay the cost to be the boss, while Coneyans don't like to pay the price to look nice. Erica Williams, heart attack, strokes, and stress up for women in 30 still working different than any other generation. If you want your woman working like a mule, that speaks. Women weren't designed to work like this. This is what happened because years ago, there was this lady, she was the CEO of, I think, Mattel, and she stepped down and all the women got mad at her. But the men were like, we understand. It's like many women are occupying these masculine roles, doing these masculine things, and they're starting to manifest with masculine, heart attacks, strokes, all these other stuff. Women weren't designed. Women weren't designed to work like that. They just weren't. That's funny. Well, once again, Anton Quinchin, why did you choose to pay yourself $360K? Since that's pretty much the only money I'm taking out the company unless I choose to do a dividend, I wanted to give myself enough money to spend to travel, to do whatever I wanted to do, and just go ahead and, because I've been playing a different kind of corporate game for the many, many years, and I had to make this adjustment because since the income is going up, the taxes are going to go up, and I had to make the adjustment. So I just picked 360, and I was like, I'll do 360 because essentially I could put myself on $1 million a year, which would be nuts because I would get slapped. Good Lord. Each pay period, because this is how it's going to go. For the first 5 months, I'm going to pay close to $11,000 in taxes. And once my income gets to 132, then they're going to stop taking Social Security out, which is $960 per pay period. So my income's going to go up almost $2,000 my take home pay is going to go up like $2,000 in month 6. The beginning of month, because the way I calculate it, 5 months I'm going to have to pay that, and then once I cross 132, then it's going to be reduced. So I will get like an additional $2,000 take home pay, which is going to be like an additional $14,000 for the latter half for the year. And Jigga, that really depends upon the type of woman you're dealing with. I've had women take me on trips. So it just depends upon the woman. Terrell Bennett, I'm going to have to, there's nothing there now, but in the future I will go over that. They want to work because they've been trained to work. 89 Dr. Funk, I want you to understand me. When you have a holding company, you own the holding company, but the holding company owns the subsidiary or the baby corpse. So you own the holding company, but there's an indemnification clause between the holding company and the operating company. So if there was something that went down with the holding company, they could not get at the operating companies because of that indemnification clause. So no. That's why this corporate game is so dope. Using the law to win. Man, the homosexuals in Atlanta are rough. The homosexuals in Atlanta, they different, man. They different. Yeah, you're gonna need to get you some QuickBooks, man, because you gotta run your books. You gotta know what you're doing. What do you mean prevent, my fellow? I don't understand. I'm not worried about them outdoing me. Everybody, like all my friends, everybody's in their own lane. Everyone's doing, they're just doing their own thing, man. City Slickers, if the company is properly set up and you have people to keep it running, yes, you can retire and still get a check. Absolutely. But you got to set the company up correctly, because this is one of the things, this is a big mistake that many entrepreneurs make. Like I made this mistake with the upscale garage sale. There was no way for that company to run without me and my partner. Whereas what I'm getting ready to do with this company, and give me about 5 years, I'm going to set it up where I can just kick back, just kick back and do what I want to do. There's so many options. Oh, really? You trademarked that? James Anderson, Biden is not going to touch firearms just like Obama, because there was all this stuff. Obama's going to take your guns, and gun sales went through the roof and everything because people were trying to get grandfathered. Biden ain't going to touch your guns. I ain't even worried about it. That's Shawana. That's facts. I took off from my job to be home with my daughter. I enjoy it, trying to get things situated to run from my business from home to quit within a year. Hey, all right. Dwayne Alexander Singer, for a starter trucking company, which would be better? First of all, you're going to have your authority, which is separate. And then you can have a holding company, because if I was going to start a trucking company, I would have a holding company to own my authority and operating LLC. And one of the reasons I would do that, because with a trucking company, you have crazy risk. If you get in an accident, you know, they can come after that operating company, but they can't come after that holding company. So I would have that indemnification clause. But that's what I would do if I was starting a trucking company. Well, you could take it out. You essentially, what I plan on doing in 5 years, City Slicker, is whether I show up or not, I'm going to get a check. So you could take it in a lump sum, or you could take it. And also there's some internal revenue rules that, like, if you wanted to sell, you know, I'm not selling the company, but if you want to sell your company, I think you can get up to like 750,000 and not have to pay taxes. Man, that's crazy. That's it. The holding company is the holding company's job is to collect money and provide additional protection between you and your operating companies. It's just another barrier. Holding company doesn't do anything. Like my holding company, like the employees I have, they're employed by the holding company because it's really low risk, but the holding company doesn't do anything. Erica, hey, if I was doing trucking, I would definitely have my corporate structure properly set up. Infinite banking. Okay, here's the thoughts for infinite banking. I've got two videos on Savage Finance talking about velocity banking and infinite banking. Essentially, what you do is use a credit product to pay off a loan quicker to reduce the interest. That's pretty much what it is in a nutshell. My game plan is to make more money and just go ahead and not get in that situation anyway. Damn, Erica, you could fire a guy on drugs on the job and him pretend to be injured on the job and sue you? That's crazy. NC worker? Absolutely. Absolutely. Because essentially, this is, let me go ahead and do this real quick. So let me just go ahead and here we go. All right, so here's the deal with the corporate toolbox. All right, all of this is included in the corporate toolbox. Now, oh, I've added more. All right, so the strategic holding company, which is done, teaches you, because essentially when you join the corporate toolbox, I want you to go over everything in the strategic holding company before you create your holding company. And then this is where the new training is, which walks you through the steps, because, you know, the strategic holding company is kind of like grad school. It was a little bit much for an average person. So this is kind of like the undergrad. So I walk you through all of the processes of how to start your holding company. But more importantly, and this is where we're cooking with gas, I teach you how to start a company from scratch. Because the holding company structure is important, but in comparison to starting a company and marketing and creating sales processes and doing things to make money, That's really simple compared to that stuff. So that's what we get into. Monte Gillen, will it be the same structure for holding a sprinter business? If you're going to do like a limo service, I would definitely have a holding company and I would definitely have an operating company because you carry a lot of risk. If you are like doing transportation, there's a lot of risk with transportation, whether it's trucking, cargo vans, or anything. So yes. City Slickers, I've heard of it. Actually, I had a consult with someone that was doing this, and let me tell you why it's a bad idea. He was putting a lot of money in his whole life insurance policy, and he was using his whole life insurance policy to fund one of his operating companies. And since the money wasn't coming from a bank or a creditor, he had to pay taxes on that money. So that's not the way you want to do it. What about vending machines purchased as soon as CFI structure? Essentially, Tawana, what you can do is you have your holding company here, then you can have an operating company here that has the vending machines. Let's say you want to do ATM machines. You can have an operating company that does the ATM machines. You can do it any way you want to. What are examples or expenses the holding company occurs? Well, this is the beautiful thing, Explain Royalty. Essentially, I'm going to tell you, I'm going to have to file 2 tax returns. I'm going to have to file a personal tax return, and I'm going to have to file an informational return for my corporation. But the expenses from the operating company flow up to the holding company. So the holding company doesn't necessarily need any expenses because the expenses from the operating companies, and this is why you have to file this informational return to highlight all that stuff. So, and I just chose to do the credit in the holding company because that's where the money's going. That's where the money's going. Random, we were just friends, man. We met and got in business. It was real simple. It was real easy. Sure thing. Thank you, Coastal Designer, for the $5 super chat. Appreciate you. I don't play the insurance game. There's many YouTubers who talk about using insurance as a retirement policy. To me, it's just ridiculously expensive. I would rather have a company that's pumping out cash flow than to sink, because the coach, Jim Harbaugh, he's got this super huge whole life insurance policy as part of his compensation. And, you know, that's one way you can do it if you want to do it. But I'm not going to pay $100,000 a month for an insurance policy so I can borrow that money out when I can go ahead and create a holding company structure, create cash flow, and create corporate credit where I can do way more. I'm not doing that. So I can't say I'm not a fan. I understand how it works. It's just something I'm not going to do. Not going to do it. Sure thing. Well, I'm doing it with my holding company. All of my business credit is in the name of my holding company because that's where the cash comes from. That's where the revenue will show up. But you could do business credit in your holding company or your operating company. Just depends on what you want to do. Terrell, my company pays my health insurance bill. My health insurance is $550 a month. So my company pays that. You could, like, this is one of the things, like a health savings account, right? You can have your company set that up and take that as a tax deduction. So there's so many things you can do. NC worker, one of the things that's going on, I got a Divvy credit card and I got a Wells Fargo secured business credit card. I'm trying to see if that's going to work. I didn't check my credit for the Divvy credit card, so there was no credit score needed, but I did have money in the bank. Yeah, your holding company can have an operating company that can hold stocks, but when you start creating investment companies, the rules get a little tricky. About 900 a month for 10 years. This is a big number. Good Lord. Pretty much. You can do whatever you want. Corporate credit right now is still available. Many corporate and personal credit for people who are well qualified. They're making some amazing offers. They're putting out some deals. It's still flowing. James Anderson, with my employee, I had a conversation with her. In a few months, I'm going to provide her with a health insurance policy, and the company will pay for it. I don't know him, Jim. I mean, all right, here's my thoughts. Men were built to be warriors. Men were built to go out and fight, conquer, and lift heavy stuff. Women weren't. And you got a lot of women out there who are getting in trucking. You got a lot of women who are getting in high vac. They're doing what they got to do because they want that bread. Yeah, because like I said, I personally would rather create companies and create cash flow than pay the insurance policy game. It is a game. I just choose not to play it. I do have a life insurance policy, but I'm not doing whole life. I'm not, because see, here's the thing. If you create a holding company and you situate and set up your holding company where it becomes the bank for your operating companies, this opens up so many doors. This opens up so many possibilities for things you can do. Like the whole insurance thing, I understand it. I understand that it works. I just choose not to play that game. I like playing the corporate citizen game. That's the game I'm playing. Now, actually, I got my editors working on a video about that because we may have a second lockdown of 4 to 6 weeks. Just in fact, today I bought some more toilet paper. Toilet paper is still not fully stocked. So every time I go to the store, I'm just going to go ahead and give me some toilet paper. I'm going to give me some chicken. I'm going to fill up the freezer because we may have a secondary lockdown. And part of this is I'm going to ask my employee to move in if we go through a second lockdown, because I'm already planning for it because, the pandemic is raging on. So this may happen. I don't think gambling, if you create a professional gambling company, if you put yourself, this actually City Slickers, this is a good example. If you go ahead and form a company that invests in being a gambler, you can deduct your losses and wins in a corporate setting. So yes, you can do that. All the money flows up to the holding company. Yep. Well, everybody, all right, I got this 5,000 square foot house because essentially her office is a spare bedroom. And yeah, because if we get locked down, I'm probably going to ask her, and there's another girl I'm about to interview, and I'm going to like, hey, just move in. Because if we have a strict lockdown, we've never had a strict lockdown. We've never had it. So I got plenty of room. I got 5,000 square feet. So we will see. The links below, Alexander, the links below the video. See, Johnson, this is why I'm preparing for it, because essentially they're talking like 4 to 6 weeks, and I could take a 4 or 6 week shutdown easy. I had a heart attack last year. I didn't work for 5 months. So that's something I can easily absorb. But, I would continue to work. Yeah, it could come again. And this would be devastating for the economy. Hey, she's actually a really good worker. She's better than the last girl I had. So shows up on time. She's figured out a way to do the work for a little faster. It's going to take me about 2-3 weeks, 2-3 months to train her. I mean, this is what I'm saying. Like, this could happen. I don't want it to happen. Like I said, I got a video my editor's working on. It's probably going to drop. I have to see what they're on. Probably Monday or Tuesday. I'll be talking about that. But this is going to be with us in 2021. This ain't going to go anywhere. Alabama couldn't play LSU because so many LSU players had the pandemic. So the game's been postponed. A lot of games were postponed this weekend. I predicted that in live streams many months ago because Clemson's star quarterback got it. Guess what? They got their first loss in 3 years. It's playing havoc, man. We may see a real lockdown, and that's why I'm got this. Get your 6-pack homosexual to move in. Yeah, because every time I go to the store, I'm going to buy some stuff. I'm like, I got a really big refrigerator. I got a pantry. I'm getting ready to stock it up because, I did not know that. Well, we're all are in for a reckoning, but yeah, I mean, essentially, there's so many things that's going to happen. Like 2021, because this is why, because I may park my money in some dividend paying stock for a year because the foreclosures, the evictions are going to start in 2021 because there's going to be so many of them. The courts are going to get clogged. And you're going to have folks who are living in an apartment for 6-8 months not paying rent. It's going to be nasty. Well, that's the plan. That's the plan. But once again, if the Democrats don't get the Senate, that plan's not going to work. Peppermint Tea, second lockdown is coming. My phone is blowing up, needing travel nurses, especially for Texas. Some hospitals at full capacity. There was this nurse, she did a Facebook Live talking about how many the hospitals in Texas weren't doing enough to save these people. So, it's going to be crazy. Mike, what are you talking about? How do you set up the tax ID form in the holding company? What do you mean tax ID? You talking about your EIN, which is free from the Internal Revenue Service? What exactly are you talking about? But there is so many things that are going to happen in the next 3 to 4 years. And if you guys are not making moves, because essentially, I want you to look at me as an example. What did I do when this whole thing started? Did I sit down and chill? No, I went hard. I started creating more content. I created a new YouTube channel. I went hard. I created more. See, you got to be busy. You got to be busy because right now, there are a lot of people in a world of hurt. There's a lot of people in the world of hurt. And, if you weren't ready in 1999, you didn't have time to get ready for this. And there are many people who are about to be evicted. They got their car repossessed and they lost their job. That is a big one. Big, big, big issue. Well, they may not have any choice, man. That's why they're going to have the mother of all stimulus packages. I'm expecting if they do a second shutdown for us to have a $5 trillion stimulus package. I'll start doing stimulus check videos again. Erica, Texas doesn't have enough hospitals, period. So when folks act like we're flooded, hey, so many folks moving there. Gunja, the mask works. Yeah, because the mask works because look all these healthcare workers who are dealing with these patients every day and they're not getting it. Wow. Yeah, because I want to tell you guys that you guys really need to be working on an internet type business. I'm here to tell you, my business exploded. I'm making more money than I've ever made in my life. Hence why I had to put myself on salary because, I'd rather pay $200,000 in taxes per mil than 400,000. You got to play the game to win the game, man. If you're close to the problem, you're close to the solution pretty much. Thanks for the $5 super chat, Jaws200. Do you think a lots for sale in cities will be cheaper versus homes already built on a lot once the housing crash happens? That's a good question. I don't know, because essentially this is how I see the housing crash happens. First of all, you got a whole bunch of people with these forbearances. And at some point, you got to pay the piper. You got to pay the bank. And some of these folks are going to get a year behind on their mortgage. These folks are not going to be able to come up with $10,000 or $15,000. So unless they rewrite all of these mortgages and have the payments go to the back, it's going to be devastating. It's going to be devastating. Daryl, there's a multitude of payment plans. If you do the 2-pay or the 3-pay, you don't pay any additional money. So there's no discount codes. Like I said, because I'm putting my foot in this. A lot of people are loving the content and the training. I'm putting my foot into it, and I'm going to raise the price again in November, at the end of November, December. So there will not be any discounts because there's 8 stages I got to create. So each stage I'm going to increase the price. So no discounts. Cleveland and Jersey, we learned the hard way. We're a mess, people. Hey. I think the next stimulus package is going to be February 2021. Because first, ain't nothing going to happen right now. Trump like he just hanging out. He a lame duck president. Hey, Jigga, I'm stacking up, man. I'm stacking up. Yeah, the mask work. Every time I go out, I wear a mask. I went to dinner last night. I'm going to post a receipt of that because I could go ahead and talk about it. Chick I met on the Sugar Baby website. We went out to dinner, had really good energy. She came back home. And she left with no payment. She'll be back. Because I put it down. I put my foot off in it. Put it down. She'll be back. So that was my night. We had a nice dinner. And you know what's funny? Like the restaurant was packed. There was like a 2-hour wait. And I was in the field, at Papa Do's. I gotta update some content. It's gonna happen because I'm spending more time with Savage Finance. That's where all my energy is going because Savage Finance is doing like 6, probably middle of next year. Savage Finance will be doing about $15,000 a month. So, City Slicker, this is the game. This is the game. When you were playing with bigger numbers, you have the luxury of time and can structure things out a lot smarter. Absolutely. Because for those who didn't know, Divvy is getting ready to start doing business loans, and they're going to extend, because it's a charge card, but they're going to allow you to float it for 3 months. So the link's below if you want a Divvy charge card, because there's some amazing stuff that's coming up. Roger Marine, like if we have a serious one, because I know she'll do it. Because she's making $5 an hour more than she was on her last job. So she'll do it. Pretty much. Pretty much. A lot of stuff's going to be cheap in 2021. Pretty much. They're going to be, it's coming, man. I just see it because if we go on the second lockdown, they're not going to have no choice but to release the mother of all stimulus packages. It ain't going to help me. Erica's like the recruiter for Texas. All right, the DSL Chronicles. I expect that number to be about 32 trillion next year. I see that coming. No stimulus package. It ain't gonna happen. Well, I mean, if you want to, once again, you should start a business, and this is something I teach in the corporate toolbox, based upon your strengths, your talents, your desires. Like a whole bunch of people are getting into Amazon FBA because I can make that money and not work that hard. And Amazon FBA has a 92% failure rate because it ain't as easy as these people on YouTube are telling you. Essentially, when I was doing storage auction content, you could have started on Amazon FBA with $500, parlay that to 6 figures in a year. Less competition. So think of a business that's in alignment with who you are as a person and your strengths. Don't just like, I should Amazon eat. If you're interested in that and you have a passion for that, like I made a gang of money from eBay and Amazon, but I loved it. I loved it. So, I don't advise people to get in businesses for the money. Get in the business because it suits part of your personality. Yeah, last night, because we went to Papa Do's and a mama was there. Little spanking happened last night. A little spanking, a little spank. It was a good time. Good time. She left this morning. She's a sweet girl. I'm gonna post a receipt up in the community section. And this chick got an ass on her. She got an ass like a black woman. Oh my God. Oh my God. Hey, it was a good time last night. People were out, man. People were out. Everyone that had on the mask, people were out. All right. She's trying to get out of New Jersey. Pretty much. There's going to be a major stimulus package. Nah, she ain't come at me like that. She ain't come at me like that. Because essentially, I have friended quite a few of these girls and we've gone out. And they know I ain't paying. But that's what happens when you have game. You could go on a sugar baby website and get some sugar without dropping, without making it rain. I've done that several times. But see, I got game. See, I understand. I understand women. I understand women better than women understand themselves. I had myself a good time. She'd be back. She'd be back. Yes. You're talking to probably the only man that's going on the Sugar Baby website and got some sugar for free. Got for free. And this is just going to piss off those chicks who were commenting on when I said the price of trim was all-time low. They were coming. There's some women out there who are just stupid. They're just stupid. Well, it really depends upon your banking activity, Tawana, because they started me off with $40K, and because my bank income went up, they hit me over the head with a $150,000 limit. Affiliate marketing, if you can do it, you like it, because essentially affiliate marketing is running a business with no control. You got to do the marketing, you got to promote it, you may have to spend some money. So, it just depends. It ain't as easy as people make you think it is. V Branson Designs, that's exactly because Yep, I recently combined my love for sneakers with e-commerce. Visa Instant, I'm about to give you some free game. If you don't already have a sneaker channel, you need to start one because there's a dude, he has a sneaker channel and he has a store and he's using his YouTube traffic and I think dude did 2 million. Start you a sneaker channel talking about your favorite sneakers and just at the end like, hey, I sell sneakers. Let people know. I mean, it's crazy. Oh man, Colleen's bad. Yeah, it was nice, man. It was a good meal. Yeah, engineer life skills, because the first one people pretty much laughed at. Let me. Let's see. Can I? Because I don't want to put her face out there. I'm gonna just put it in the community section. Because I'm gonna see this chick again. So what I'm gonna do is put her face up, and I'm gonna put a bar across her face to. But yeah, she is very, very nice. She ain't broke either. Well, I mean, this is why corporate America donates money to both sides of the aisle. I mean, it's the same duck on a different side of the aisle, man. Oh man, I don't know. Isn't there a military base near Killeen? I don't. I think so. Hey, but we had really good chemistry. We had really good chemistry, so that's how I do it. It can happen, Tracy. It can happen. I'm open to it. I'm open to it. Fort Hood. Okay, I figured there was a fort in Killeen, but yeah, man, this corporate game is some of the best game on the planet because it allows you to do so many things. Because once you start a company, that's an asset, right? You can sell it, you can borrow against it, you can do so many things. And I'll be talking about the things that I'm going to do because, like I said, my goal in the next year is to get to 500,000 to $1 million in business credit, then leverage that credit into even more real estate because I'm going to be paying cash for real estate and I'm also going to be using credit to get real estate. So I'm going to have two things going on. And I got to keep paying attention to the news because like right now, real estate is hot. I mean, they're having bidding wars on houses, 250 to 350,000. But houses like my house, there's three houses on the street for sale. They've been sitting for months because these houses are $1 million plus. And if you're going to spend $1 million, you're going to get exactly what you want. So these houses and the houses haven't been updated. So you're going to spend $1 million for a house that you're going to have to update the bathrooms. You're going to have to redo the kitchen. And people like, I ain't doing that. I ain't feeling that. So if the house hasn't been renovated, they're not moving. You're going to have to build business credit where the money's coming. So if you have an operating company and you don't have a lot of money going through it, it's going to be hard to build business credit. Okay, the biggest base, Fort Hood. All right, I knew there was some in Texas. I never was there. All right. Pick me up in the Porsche, the new car, the smell didn't hurt. Hey, I think OverFans is already overloaded. Pretty much, Gunji. Good Lord. All kind of things going on in Texas. Skip, just wear a mask. Just wear a mask. It ain't no big deal. Oh, freedom is very addictive. Well, some landlords are getting wrecked. I have a girl I met. We went out. She manages Airbnb property. They have 20 properties. They've been fully booked even during COVID. She said they had a little dip, but they've been booked. So it really depends on where you are, what you're doing. So all real estate isn't being wrecked. I would say apartments are catching it because it's a big nameless, faceless corporation. I have 3 friends with real estate, and they have high level real estate. 3,500 for it. All their tenants been paying. So it really depends on where you are, man. Clean, good Lord. I would disagree. Everyone I saw last night had a mask on, so people are starting to take this very seriously. They're starting to wear a mask. So, all right, that's all I got for you with corporate citizens. He can't. They would have to fundamentally change everything, and they're not going to do that. Yeah, because essentially, what I'm thinking of doing with my first rental is doing a luxury Airbnb and tricking it out. That's my thoughts. Section 8 still paying. 9% of the landlords are getting paid. So, all right. If you want to be part of the corporate citizen package, links below. Go ahead and jump in. The price is going up in December. So that's all I got for you guys. It's been fun. I will see you in the next one.